Hey, I'm Katie.
And I'm JD.
And we are best friends who love to laugh.
And have fun. This is Katie and JD Laugh Out Loud.
Thanks for tuning in.
In our first episode, we're going to talk about how we met.
Oh, that's a good one.
All about our new show.
So, join in the laughter with us.
This is Katie and JD Laugh Out Loud.
Oh my gosh, why do you look at me? This is the pilot episode. Let's do it.
Episode 100.
Let's do it. Welcome to Katie and JD Laugh Out Loud. We are your hosts, Katie and
JD.
And this is our podcast. This is the very first episode of our pod, and we're so excited to get this started.
For starters, it took us a really long time to figure out what to call this show. Like a really long time. We had so many ideas. Some were really good ones, and others we probably shouldn't have even thought of. But ultimately, we realized that none of those podcast titles match us and who we are.
Right. We were talking about it, and then we realized as we were doing an episode for my podcast, KD Time, that it hit us. Time? We are a comedy act, a duo, not to be compared to great duos like Steve Martin and Martin Short, or Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan,
Maya Rudolph and Kristen Wiig, maybe Tina Fey and Amy Poehler.
But I'd say we could be close to their level of comedic timing.
This is true. We laugh literally wherever we go because we genuinely have a great time together. Let's tell them a little about us.
Well, first off, I'm Katie, and they are my initials.
And I'm JD. Those are my initials. Well, they are our initials, and if you really think about it, then they are the only... Wait, we don't even have the same last name.
A funny note is that the first letters in both of our initials rhyme, and our names both end in D, but aren't the same last name, like you said. And not many letters of the alphabet end in the same sound, like A, like J and K do, unless you count A, but A is actually sound of the letter, so really it's just the sound that's away because that's how it was made. But we all know that A also sounds like A, right?
A and A. A says its name because it's a vowel.
A says its name because it's a vowel, but it's just funny that, you know, they're the
But then we found out that J and K are the only ones with the A.
Right.
Just that. We went through the whole alphabet.
It was like K, J, and A.
How did it happen?
The same. That was it. No other letters sound like
If
that.
you could prove us wrong, write in.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anyways, so we met over like 10 years ago. Which you keep saying it was 10 years ago, but it was definitely more than that now.
It feels like just 10 years. Listen, the COVID years have really skewed my brain in terms of time. So it does just feel like it's only been 10 years.
We instantly became best friends. And now we're roommates with my dog, Arthur, who lives here with us on the breezy beach in Connecticut. I work in a kindergarten class, which means most of my jokes involve children. Yeah. I also have 8 awesome nieces and nephews who make me laugh on a regular basis.
And I will be getting my jokes from my everyday life as an office hero. I mean manager.
You're definitely the office hero.
I mean chaos coordinator. Semantics. We want to entertain you with jokes, stories, and good times. Hopefully, laughing can get you laughing until you cry.
Yes, make them cry.
In this show, we'll talk about relatable stories, nostalgia, life lessons, movie reviews, being 2 women from opposite sides of a coin, and we'll play games.
We'll laugh.
So yeah, we'll laugh a lot. We'll laugh so much.
And if you haven't noticed, we've already laughed at each other a couple times.
Several times. We just bring it out in one another. It's ridiculous.
Our main objective is to laugh and have fun, and have you, as our listeners, join in that fun and laughter. we know that life is a lot, and what better way to tackle this thing than to laugh our way through it?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Let's talk about how we met.
Yeah, so that was several years ago, back at summer camp 2010, when we started this wonderful friendship. It was my first year on staff at Sunshine Acres in Napa.
Why do you sound like you're about to say a whole poet? Like, oh, it was my
I'm telling a story. Let me tell a story.
Okay.
It was my first year at staff up on Sunshine Acres in Napa, New York. It was a lovely place, a nice hot summery day. I was as nervous as could be, but I had my sister with me.
Why do you sound like this?
You see, my mom had always told us about this camp, Sunshine Acres, because she grew up on Long Island, and she would go up there with her family in the summers and in the winters and all the times. Anyways, it always sounded so fascinating to us because she would tell us so many great stories of this place up in New York. So one day, my sister Rebecca and I just decided, hey, what the heck? We'll apply. So we did, and then they needed us right away. So we got really excited, but also nervous about going. And my parents came with us that first day, that we weren't alone. And then my mom continued to tell more stories while we were on the property, just running back the nostalgia of her own childhood and teenage years up on the acres. And for me, I just kind of was very quiet and shy, as I usually am when I first meet people. So I just kind of walked in and hid the best I could.
Yep. That is how I remember it. For me, I was starting my third year on staff. I had already been there, well established. My name was sprinkled all over the Sunshine Acres.
Was written all over the cabin.
It was not written. It was not written all over the cabins. Thank you very much. It was actually just I was known. I was well
People
known.
knew her
After 2 years.
Here I was, stranger danger.
After 2 years of being a junior counselor, I stepped on up to senior counselor, baby, and then I met Jay and her sister Rebecca, and I was like, oh man, we got some fresh meat in the house. There's 2 new people. And then the thing is, okay, so let me tell you, right? Because the thing is that me and the crew that had already been there,
well-established crew.
Me and the crew, we already knew what was the dealio. And then all of a sudden, there's these new people, and we had heard wind that one of them, we didn't know which one because we didn't know who they were yet, but one of them
couldn't tell us apart either.
Applied to be the program director. And we were like, whoa, how are you going to be the program director? And you haven't even been at the show.
Yes, and we quickly found out that word travels very, very, very fast.
Wow.
Because the instant we stepped on campus, they were like, which one of you applied to be the program director? And it's like, whoa, that's a private application. How did you get your hands on that? You know what I'm saying?
Back then, I say back then like it was forever ago. It felt like a forever ago. But honestly, when we found out, we were just like, who, what, how, where, why? What are you doing?
She read the description online of what the program director does and the job that entails, and she's like, I can do that in my sleep. And it turns out she can. It just was like, well, I'll put my name on for that too if you need one.
It was way too early for her to be a program director. That's all I'm saying. We were just like, we use fresh meat. Anyhow, so
we had another program director.
So there was another program director who was already there years prior, working, and I mean, I don't know how he got the job because honestly, that was one of the most interesting summers of my life.
Well, he had an assistant.
He did have an assistant
who was the arts and crafts director.
She put herself as the arts and crafts director.
Yeah, so that she could be the assistant.
Anyway, so about how we met.
Either way,
right? So here we are at
so then we were all senior counselors, which is like the head counselor of the girls' cabins. It was me and Kay and my sister Rebecca, and then Kay's friend Nicole,
who we call Nikki, who you've heard on my podcast.
Nikki from the block.
I'm still Nikki from the block.
Nikki from the block.
Listen, yeah, so it was the four of us, and me and Nikki had our own thing. We had been very close best friends. I mean, we're still really good friends. Love you, Nikki. Up to you. And
she's down south.
She's not down south. She's just in New York. Anyway, so so
you and Nikki.
Me and Nikki we had our senior thing going, and I was like, Nikki, me and you, cabin 1 and 2, we got this. Let's leave 3 and 4 to the newbies. We don't want to
push them out.
We don't want to like involve ourselves
with them.
We're gonna shun them as like a a Sunshine Acres hazing kind of thing.
Yeah. Funny hazing stuff.
It was not. I mean,
it's funny.
It was pretty funny.
But that didn't happen.
That didn't happen because
the Lord had other plans for you.
Either the Lord had other plans, or it was really the art director, Katie, who was like, "Oh, you know what? Because they're so new, and you guys are seniored counselors, we're gonna split them up, and
we need a buddy system here."
They needed a buddy system,
which makes sense.
I was in cabin 1, Jay was in cabin 2. Nikki was in cabin 3, Rebecca was in cabin 4, and we were just like, I was like,
my friend
Nikki,
my friend separated from me. What am I gonna do?
Separated.
Guess what she had to do? She had to become friends with her neighbor.
Hey, that's what the good Lord says is love thy neighbor.
And you sure do.
I sure do. And look at us now. How many years has it been?
Right. We can live in rooms next to each other. We started one summer in cabins right next to each other, and now we're in rooms right next to each other.
Right. Roommates. Whoop whoop. Anyhow.
Impressive.
Yeah, so that's pretty much how we met. I mean, honestly, like, I had to help Jay get a feel of the camp and
environment
and how we did things, the people, the community,
once she was done hazing
the rules and all that stuff. And 6 weeks is a long time, guys, especially when it's 24/7 practically.
There ain't no break from the weary.
There's no rest for the weary.
Yeah, that break. Too. We had no rest.
There was no rest.
Camp's exhausting. I don't think I could do it at my age now.
Oh my gosh.
There's a reason that I was so young.
It was definitely an exhausting time every year. Every year I would go home and get so sick.
Yeah, like, just from catching up on the fact that we just did all of that.
Oh my goodness. You guys, like, if you do any kind of camp or VBS or like day camp, don't you just feel so exhausted after you hang out with a bunch of kids all day?
It takes a while to rejuvenate.
It really does.
Which is why my job is so tiring.
Well, you being a teacher or a paraprofessional, you just, that's still pretty cool. Like, you get to hang out with kids all day.
Yeah, it's just exhausting.
I know.
But, it is what it is. So, what we mean to say is we met long time ago. Summer camp besties. Ride her. And I convinced her to move to Connecticut. So here we are.
Actually, she did not convince me. It was more of there was a necessity for me to be here. I needed to be here for work. To work.
Yeah.
And I've used my talents, my very awesome managerial talents, to work.
Coordinate the chaos.
I am a chaos coordinator.
Didn't Amy have that in her office?
I don't think so. No, I don't remember her having a title that said chaos coordinator. But that was one of our insider jokes with a guitar. Chaos, strum, chaos.
Yes,
strum, chaos.
Always. But anyways, it was a fun summer, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. That's for sure.
We are so in sync that we literally just clasp our fingers together.
If we were videoing this.
We just did it so naturally.
At the exact same time. Anyways.
Just like, oh, well, there you go. Clasp our fingers, put it on our chest, and then we keep talking.
And then here it is. So pretty much that's how we roll.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So we talked about how we met, but did we talk about how we became best friends?
I would have to say that's all you, Kay.
How was that all me? We did it together.
I am very, I'm not outgoing when I first meet someone, and because of your outgoing spirit and your generosity, then we were able to become friends. Otherwise, I probably would have just hung out in my cabin with my junior and my kids and lived life.
I don't think that that's true, because we had our nights off and our afternoons off. How do you think
we became best friends?
I think we became best friends because of the fact that I had to mentor you in becoming a senior counselor.
I had no clue what I was doing.
I know, so that's why I had to mentor you, and we had to work through it together. And on top of that, we had a lot of scheduled events,
friendship time. I feel like because of your outgoing spirit and your, like I said, your generosity and your willingness to just take me in under your wing and be your friend while also helping me through summer camp, that's what did it.
I mean, for me, okay, so like we did a lot of things together, because we like our cabin 1 did things with cabin 2
mm-hmm.
often. We went to the pool together. We went to the arts and crafts room together, because they'd pair us up sometimes,
mm-hmm.
you know. And then again, like I said, during those off times, the sweet release of the 2-hour break
mm-hmm.
in between the day, or the sweet release of the 2-hour break in the evening,
mm-hmm.
because we had at least time to go and relax away from the children and away from our juniors. Even though we loved them dearly, they were awesome junior counselors. We would go, and that was it. You know, we as the community is, you got to get to know your neighbor. So why wouldn't I want to get to know new people?
You were just so friendly and outgoing. It was hard not to be your friend.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I mean, I'd say near impossible.
It was impossible to be my friend?
No, impossible not to be your friend.
Oh, I might have twisted those words.
I don't know what you'd say about me, but I definitely felt like I was very shy still that whole year.
And, I mean, well, I don't know, because, like I said, that was a long time ago, and you've changed so much now, so I have no idea if, like...
What the real trigger was.
What the real trigger was.
Started this friendship.
Exactly.
Probably just 6 weeks together.
I think it was. I think because we were in that bubble,
yeah,
and we had no one else to talk to because the internet service was not that great.
Yeah.
And plus, in, like, what was it, 2010, when we met, like, there was no TikTok, there was no, you know, Twitter. I mean...
No, I still had a flip phone.
There was...
My first year at summer camp, I still had a flip phone.
You had a flip phone?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness.
I was texting on it, but it was a flip phone.
I don't remember what phone I had. I feel like the phone I had.
It was like the Motorola Razr, but it was the LG version. I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah,
but that's what I had as my first phone. And then the next year, I got the little one that slid, and it was like the first type of touch screen where you like press really hard, and eventually you get the button, and then it slid to a full keyboard because I was like, I need a full keyboard.
Oh.
So I had the slide over one. It also LG.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's what I had. Those were the first 2 ones. And then I had, like, basically every year I had a new phone for the first couple of years. And then I had another LG, but it was full touchscreen.
I don't know. I know I didn't have an iPhone.
And I had all those before I got my iPhone.
Huh. I know I didn't have an iPhone, but I feel like I probably had maybe... Wow, wait, what did I have? Was it a Razr? Did I have a flip phone Razr? Or was it a... Did I have a,
I had that little T-Mobile one.
No, I didn't have a T-Mobile. Maybe the BlackBerry. I think I might have had the BlackBerry where it had a touchscreen and then you slid it up and then it had the keyboard under it. That's what I feel like I might have had. But yeah, either way, it doesn't matter what kind of... I mean, it doesn't matter because, oh my goodness, old tech alert. But, you know, we really just had our our bubble. We had our people to hang out with. We had games to play. There was a pool table, carpet ball. We got to play ping pong. You know, the air hockey.
Night times in the game room.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, we're going way long into just all summer camp, which is great.
I mean, but
I love summer camp.
That was our foundation. That's what
it really is.
Solidified and where we could always like tune back into. Because
remember
that's
that one time?
One time at band camp.
Exactly, one time at SSA.
What was the?
That's what we called Sunshine Acres. SSA. Even though sunshine is one word, we still split it up with two S's. I'm not sure why. But I guess it sounds better than essay.
Essay.
Because there's like, where are you? Donde essay?
I feel like that's just not good. We can't do that. We're not supposed to do that. Donde essay?
No, it's está. I just realized I screwed up my Spanish.
Shame.
It's donde está.
Donde está?
And I just called it essay, which essay is like a paper you write.
Yeah.
But now they just call them research papers. No one writes essays anymore.
Oh.
I mean, in high school probably, but I'm not in high school.
Probably. But that's our foundation. Sunshine Acres is our foundation.
SSA.
That's where we always come back to. Mm-hmm. But I do remember one of those nights where I was hopped up on Benadryl.
Yeah.
And you were just super tired because it was late. It was late night.
Late o'clock, as I like to call it. And I do better with late o'clock now, but back then
we laughed so much.
I think it was just because we had to get up so early. Like, I just wanted to be awake and aware for the kids before they woke up, because children wander. Did you guys know that? Children wander. So, like, sometimes, campers would get up before you. And then
I don't
they wander.
think I had a camper.
And I don't want my campers to do that. So I would try to get up before them so that I could hear anything that's happening.
No, I don't think I had campers that would ever get up before me. I feel like
no wanderers.
I would get up.
I'd hear kids in the shower before me waking up.
I would go into the shower. I would make sure. No. The rule in my cabin.
That's just it. Like, you go to bed last and you wake up before other campers. That's not a lot of sleep.
The rule was no one could go into the shower before me, and I still have that rule today. Like, I just do not.
You do. I'm
like showering.
I can't shower until after you.
I just don't like it.
It's a solid rule. It's your rule. It's fine.
I just don't like it.
I'm fine with showering after you, so I don't care.
I don't like showering after people. I'm sorry.
It's totally all right. The point is that I would get up early and I'd stay up late every night, even if we were on duty or not on duty.
That's probably
so. Then became late o'clock.
That's probably why and how I would get sick every year after camp, and I'd go home and I'd feel so sick for like a few days. It was the weirdest thing. It was like, I went from So, listeners, listen real quick, right? Where Sunshine Acres is, it's up north. It's up in upstate New York, and the mountains. It's all fresh air up there. There's deer, there's bears, right? There's chickens, and when I come back to the city, the smog and bog of the city,
grossness.
Do not disrespect my city.
The summer city is hot.
Do not disrespect my city.
I'm talking about summer.
Listen.
Summer is gross.
You said gross after I said city, though.
No, after you said the smogness. Gross.
Don't disrespect my city.
Summer gross.
Anyway. When I come back to the city and it was all hot and muggy.
Hot, gross.
And stop saying gross. Don't disrespect my city.
Just looking at the fact that we have 89% humidity in this room right now. And
we're not in the city. We're just in Connecticut.
Summer, gross.
Summer is gross, but I'm just saying from my own
you would get sick.
I would get sick.
I would get sick too.
Yeah.
But I was come back to here, not the city, and I'd still get sick because lack of sleep, lack of good things for your health. I try to drink water as much as possible, but
we'd always tell the kids to drink water, but we didn't really take care of ourselves.
Well, we can maybe have some different people that we ran into along the way at Sunshine Acres on our pod.
Ooh, that would be so fun.
That would be fun.
Reminiscing on the good times.
Exactly.
I don't know why I just broke out into song.
You always do.
That's a random thing, but I always do that. So, shall we switch gears and talk about the show?
We did talk about the show.
I mean, for very briefly, though. I think so.
Do we need to give an example of a game or something? Or
ooh, what's one of our games?
Well, I would say it's 5 Degrees of Separation, celebrity style.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Or we could do the one where you could describe a movie and I could guess it.
Oh, I'm so bad at describing movies, guys. Like, so bad.
You're not that bad.
I'm so bad at it. She gets it every time.
Just try. Give me.
Or I will remove way too many of the details and then she's so confused. Those are the two options.
Come on.
All right, fine. In this movie.
Okay. All right. Here we go.
In this movie.
Yeah.
The main character lives with one parent, and then another person comes to live with them, and they have to try and adjust to having someone else there, which is just like really hard to do. And they show that person what it's like in their neck of the woods and what it's like to be just a regular person for them.
Wait.
Do you know what movie it is?
I feel like I do. Hold on. Are you talking about Princess Protection Program?
Ding, 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 ding. The PPP.
I'm like, didn't we just see that the other night?
So I was watching it yesterday, and it was the freshest movie in my mind. I'm not going to lie. I was definitely watching it yesterday. It's definitely in the frontal lobe of my brain, and that's the description that came out.
Oh, that's
yes,
so funny.
you are correct. It was the Princess Protection Program.
Let's go.
# Disney Channel movie for life. I love those OGs.
Oh man, that's a good movie. I mean, granted, like it's
cheesy.
It's cheesy. It's so cheesy,
but it's still a good movie.
Cheesy as heck. All right, so that's pretty much how we roll.
That's how a game goes. I'm sloping here.
Oh my goodness.
Dude is falling.
So that's pretty much how we roll. 2 hard-working,
family-loving,
Christ-believing,
roommating,
best friending,
laughing out loud gals.
Some stories will be off the rip, and others will be a little bit more planned out.
But still, we add in our own little flavor. Thank you so much for listening to our show. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you got some laughs. Stay tuned. We will be coming out weekly, bi-weekly, whenever we get the schedule going. No, we'll try and be as consistent as we can. I think we'll try for weekly. Yeah. So please subscribe, share, and have a good laugh. Enjoy a good laugh. Why are you laughing at me? Oh my gosh. So that's all for now. Peace out. Oh my goodness. Oh gosh, okay.